asking about bush stoves, and one in particular that we had featured a few years ago, and that was the Silverfire Scout kit from Silverfire. So hang tight, I'm going to talk to you about that in just a second. Alright guys, welcome back. As I said, in 2017, Todd Albee, the owner of Silverfire Scout, was mentioned to us. Matter of fact, we had, that was when we were gearing up for the 2018 Gear Review Expeditions, and people were just slamming us with suggestions on gear, and Todd Albee's gear, we just kept on getting bombarded with it. You know, you need to check this out, you need to look at this, because we had announced that we would be doing bush stoves, and we had some criteria that we wanted to make sure, you know, that people followed, that they were small, lightweight, and could be packed on a bike without a problem. And Todd Albee reached out and said, I think I got something you want to see, and he sent us this guy right here, the Silverfire Scout. It's a kit that's in here, and we're going to get a close-up on this. But before I start doing that and taking it out and let you see it all over again, I just want to tell you that we've had this since 2017. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this, because we went back through and we checked our records and made sure. But we have looked at 53 different stoves since 2017 that people have sent us. And we keep getting asked, you know, what's the best stove? What do you suggest? And we have seen them from the small minimalist stoves that you use with a bean can to, you know, some portable rocket stoves that are just, you know, you don't do that for what we're talking about here. That's not a bush stove. At the very best, it is a survival style stove, you know. You can use it out camping, but I mean, they're usually cumbersome, a little bit heavy, you know, for a base camp. But we were talking about bush stoves that a single guy could take out and could quickly deploy it, that it would be dependable, that would be tank tough, you know, something that would stand the test of time and the brutality of a forest, especially when you're a hunter or you're a fisherman, or, you know, whatever you're doing out in the outdoors. That's what we were looking for. And we've seen them all, man. I've seen the collapsible style. I've seen the modular style made out of stainless and just regular steel, stamped, just everything under the sun. We even had people sending them from China. And oddly enough, it's not odd if you know the business. I mean, you know, everybody uses China just about, and when you do, you go to a factory that makes, you know, widgets, and give them your design, and they'll take their widget to make it fit your mold. So that's why a lot of the stoves all look the same. But the one from Silverfire does not look the same. Matter of fact, there are some very peculiar things about this stove that I'm going to talk to you about that I think you'll like. You know, so I think that's all I'm going to do from this point. I want to get a tight shot, so I actually can show you this. I'm not going to fire it up because I'm actually in the workshop out at our campsite. So the rain is terrible. The wind is 40 miles an hour. I already tried doing one video and it was crazy. So we may edit out all this stuff here. All right, so hang tight. I'll be right back. If you're looking for a very formidable, stout, tough, last a lifetime type of bush stove, this is the one that we still endorse. We recommend this when people ask, you know, because there's a lot of them that are out there, but there's only one Silverfire Scout. And this is the guy in all of its glory right here as it comes out of this stuff sack. It's in an MSR pot, and comes open like this. There you go. And inside you have two sets. No, you got a set of stainless steel fork and spoon that's foldable, and then you have the magnesium with a ferro rod attached to it, right? And it does everything you need for it to do, you know. Magnesium comes off really easy. And I don't know what type of wood this is, but I have used this wood to get some shavings, some really fine shavings, and put it all together, and it actually ignited without a problem. So now we're going to talk about the stove. Let's get the pot out of the way. All right, the pot just sits on top, but the stove is where the magic is at. And you know, I told you there's some particular things about it. You see these flames right here? These flames are Silverfire's trademark. Okay, if you don't see the flames on there, it's not a Silverfire. All right, that's plain and simple. What do we got in here? Oh, it looks like we got a piece of fat wood up in there too. All right, so now how this works, simply you put this like this, this like this, there it is. That's it. Okay, then you start adding fuel to it, and when you do, you know, pencil size stuff. You know, I put some of this together because I was going to do this outside for you and light it, but you know, go on one of our other videos where we're reviewing this thing. But that's all you got to do. Okay, now there's a couple things I want to make mention that is again peculiar to Silverfire. These 5 prongs, you don't see that very often. That provides a very stable base for your pot, right? Very stable base for your pot. Again, this is all stainless. I think it's 303 stainless or something like that. But let's kind of dissect this portion of the stove first of all right? This is where a lot of the magic starts to happen. All right, this isn't the star of the show, but you see this has an ash pan. You can actually put this on the forest floor, which we have many times, and it will not catch the forest floor on fire because it has this ash pan suppressor. That doesn't mean that we go out and we try to pile leaves around it, but it does a great job for what it's doing, okay? And that sits down inside of this right here, okay? Now, I want to show you this also. On the inside here, you see these flames? That's because this is double walled. And what happens when you start to combust your fuel, see here how you got that space right there? When you start to combust your fuel, the primary burn gives off gases. If you are using a conventional fire or conventional stoves, those gases escape, and it is a loss of energy that you could be burning a second time if you had a gasification stove like Todd Albee has put together here. You see those in here? Your primary burn happens here, but as it burns, it gets oxygen from all around the bottom. The oxygen comes in, you're getting your primary burn, it releases the gases, and then those hot gases reignite on the top, so you got a secondary burn, and you're burning much less fuel to get the same BTUs, okay? A lot of science involved in this. This goes on top, this goes here, and there's your pot. That is what I consider to be the very best bush stove on the market even today. He's got all kinds of gear at silverfire.us that you might want to look at, different stoves. And I know you've asked me many times about tent stoves and all that. You know, that's really an expensive investment for a small business just to throw out there. I'm not saying he won't ever do it, but we've mentioned it, you know, and we might mention it again in the fall when we go do the winter camping and we use tent stoves. But he's got everything there. He's got tiny house stoves. He's got solar cookers on there. And another question that we got is, does he do anything, does he make anything like this for more than one person, for say like 2 people? And the answer is absolutely yes. It's called the Dragon Pot Mini for 2, I believe it is. And it is the big brother to this. And I can't explain to you about the Dragon Pot except it's a double-walled pot that when you burn those secondary gases, that heat goes up into the inside wall of that pot, and you are boiling water quick. So That's it right there. The Silverfire Scout, still our favorite out there, and it's the only bush stove that we actually endorse. So appreciate the question, appreciate you watching, and like and share it, and become a subscriber and get you some free stuff. So until next time, you guys ride free, you live free, and as always, you be safe out there.